To rugby league now, and it's playoffs time in the NRL, and unfortunately for many fans on this side of the ditch, watching the action unfold will be the New Zealand Warriors. It's officially the NRL off-season for them after they finished outside the top 8 in 13th spot. Warriors CEO Cameron George is here for a discussion about the season and where to from here. Cameron, cheers for your time. I know conversations like these are never easy, but when I look back to last season and you were 2 points off top, and you're in the playoffs for the first time since 2011. What has gone so desperately wrong in the last 12 months?
Look, there's a number of things. Particularly everything last year went our way in a lot of ways. Like, we won our first 5 games. Injury-wise, we didn't have any major problems in 2018. There was some great debuts last year. Some guys really added some energy to the squad and so forth. Then we fast forward into 2019, certainly impacted upon by injuries and some significant players that have been sidelined for a while. But putting all that aside, we're sitting 3 points out of the 8 at the end of the season, which is disappointing for our fans. We've got some work to do, there's no doubt about that, both staff and players across the whole organisation. We've got to go to the drawing board and put a line in the sand and make sure we improve going into next year.
What part did the Shaun Johnson saga, I hate to go back to that, but what part did that saga play in what we saw on the field this year? Obviously, you went into the season with no dedicated halves partner with Blake Green. What did that do for the side?
Oh, look, I think, Shaun's a quality person and player, absolutely, there's no doubt about that. But as a team, I feel like the point that a lot of people are missing in regards to what we have missed this year is Simon Mannering. He's a 60, 70 tackle person a game, huge amount of hit-ups, but off the field, unbelievable in terms of his leadership. So I feel like Simon's absence from this year has been a major for us, but we'll work through that going forward. We've got Cody halfway through the year. He's starting to settle in, and I'm sure we'll see a huge improvement again on the back of an off-season with us next year. So all in all, I think as a squad, we've developed really well this year. We've got a lot of young kids that have had a go, and it's just a period of transition we're going through, and we'll bounce back bigger and better in 2020, no doubt. But it'll be a tough off-season.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. One of the things that was a feature of your season, and it wasn't even your doing, was some questionable calls from officials throughout the year. And again, we see it, over the weekend against the Raiders. Do you think there's a bias against this New Zealand club in the NRL?
No, I'm not going to use the word bias, but look, we've had cause for concern to raise those issues with the NRL on a few occasions, and Graham Annesley, to his credit, head of football, come and met with the club and took us through everything. And there's certainly throughout the year we've had a number of tough calls go against us, and that's just that's unfortunate, but that's the luck of the game. What we've got to do as a club is put all that aside and play to a level that takes all that stuff out of play. So we're not reliant on those tough calls. We've got our nose in front that far that tough calls get taken out of the game. But we've just got to improve across the board. That's simply it. And I don't look for the referee calls as a reason or any injuries and so forth. They contribute, but we've just got to be better.
You talk about improving across the board. Well, earlier this year, Coach Stephen Kearney was given a 3-year extension on his contract. How do you feel about that decision now? Yeah,
great. He's a fantastic contributor to the club. He's a fantastic leader. He fits in really well with the culture, and he's developing a really great and accountable culture within the playing ranks. Look, when you look at the characteristics of what you want to build your club around, you look at key leaders, and we've got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the field, and we've got Stephen Kearney off the field, and they're two great people that can take this club a long way. So there's, I know there's a lot of talk out there about Stephen, but he has my 100% support, the club support and the player support. And I think what we need to do is just together as a collective unit, and I talk on and off the field, we just need to improve. And Stephen's a great leader around that, and he demands improvement and he demands results. So as I said, we go back to the off season now, and there'll be some hard questions asked of various people across the board. board, and we've got to get the answers.
Cameron, before we let you go, what's a message that you can give to Warriors fans who might be despondent, downcast after a very tough season? What can you say to them right here, right now, that will give them the faith to get through the off-season and be excited about what the club will produce in 2020?
Yeah, look, we're not going into this off-season thinking we've done good at all. You know, we've let our fans down. I've been one to say from the word go, I just want respect and effort put into our jumpers every time we pull it on. We're going into this off-season, ask some serious questions and seek the answers, and we'll improve. Everyone's talking about recruitment and all that sort of stuff. What I can say is that patience will be the winner here, and we could sign 5 players today, but we're not going to. We're going to sign the 5 right players, so our fans don't get success just for one day, they get success for a number of years. And, you know, prior to me, there's been decisions made. I don't own them, but I own the ones now. And me and Stephen and Roger collectively will get this club right. So we'll go away and work hard. And I know we need to, earn that respect back, and we'll get it back. I promise our fans that.
Good on you, mate. Hey, just quickly, who wins? Who wins the competition?
Look, I think the Roosters are starting to come really, good at the right time. And Melbourne are just a class act. I know poor old Craig Norensberg must be still out the back of his tissues after the weekend. I know you haven't asked me a question about Canberra getting beat because of Craig, but anyway. But it's tough. Cronulla could bounce, who knows, but it'll come down to injuries and really good luck.
Warriors CEO Cameron George, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks.